Hi there, RC Girl here. Today we're going to be doing a leaf spring conversion on my Axial SCX-10-2 Jeep Cherokee. RC 4-wheel drive just came out with a new SCX-10-2 leaf spring conversion kit, and it inspired me to make some changes to my beloved Jeep Cherokee. I do really love this thing, but once you get to the end of a build, you kind of want to do something different. Not only are we going to be adding leaf springs, but I'm also going to be making some other changes. I just painted up this hard body. This is also from RC 4-wheel drive. This is their Toyota Hilux, aka Mojave 2, and this is the 4-door version. Some people have asked me, why are you going to be converting to leaf springs? Isn't that a dated technology? In this video, I'll answer that question and I'll share my plan for the build. This is going to be part of a multi-part series, so stay tuned. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Here you're going to find RC reviews, tips and tricks, run videos, flight videos, drone videos, and other things related to RC. So make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more. I'll also put a link to my Instagram and Facebook. I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff, so make sure to check those out as well. I got really inspired after seeing some leaf spring models at Axial Fest 2019, and I'm also curious about trying and expanding into different aspects of scale building. The RC 4-wheel drive kit comes with a new chassis rail, so we're going to have to swap out all of our components from the SCX-10-2 stock chassis. Also going to have to take off our coil springs and also the links, interestingly. Also comes with all the hardware you need to do the conversion. I'll put a link to everything I use in this video in the description box below, so make sure to check that out if you guys are interested. For those new to leaf springs, what the heck are they and why would you want to consider them in RC? This goes back to the history and evolution of suspension technology in automobiles. Let's go into that a little bit.
With modern spring suspensions, motorists travel over such roads in comfort at any speed. For many years, engineers worked on this problem of easy riding from every angle. Springs were studied. They were made short, then long, narrow, then wide, with blunt ends and tapered ends. The first marked improvement in spring ease came long ago when they discovered the great advantage gained when the springs were set parallel to the frame, with the springs in line with the direction of the ride instead of crosswise and contrary to it. Side sway is reduced to a minimum.
You're not necessarily going to increase your performance using a leaf spring kit, but it's all about those scale points. You're going to be really moving more into the scale aspect of building an RC. All right, so let's show you guys what I have planned for this build, and then let's get to the install. So first, as you can see here, this is the Mojave 2 4-door body. This thing is super cool looking. I picked out the color TS78. This is a hard body as well. It's going to be more narrow than my Jeep Cherokee body, so I have to do a little bit of mods to be able to mount this to the SCX-10-2 chassis. I'll dive into that in a second. It goes on their long wheelbase Trailfinder 2. It's also part of their C2X platform. You can choose to use the truck bed or you can cut it off and have a back half cage. I didn't show how to paint the body in the video because I have another video, I'll link it up here, of how to paint your hard body for the first time. So this is actually my second hard body. I think it turned out really great. I also did rear window tinting using tint film back here on the rear windows. It comes with a lot of cool scale details as well as really neat lighting features. Each of these lighting components are functional, so you just have to install a light behind them. So I'm actually also going to be installing a full Mytric RC light kit with the Dragon DG1 controller. I'm also going to be using their 19mm new LED headlights that look so cool. All around, I'm really impressed with the scale details on this body. It came in like this ugly green color. I just sanded it down lightly, sprayed some primer, and sprayed a top coat with this green, and I think it turned out really nice. To mount this though, it doesn't quite fit on our chassis here. I made an order through Dinky RC. He 3D prints custom parts. I'll put a link to that part in the description below. Basically, it's a body tray that allows you to mount this body on your SCX-10-2. They're going to be a little bit narrower and it's a direct fit for the 4-door body. If you have the 2-door body and you want to use that on the SCX-10-2, Mod 19 RC makes a mount for that, and I'll also put that in the description box. Another mounting option I found online is from Shrink RC. That uses the existing mounting holes in the truck bed, so I will try out both options and keep you guys posted on which ones work. So tires. I think this thing would look a little funny with big tires. What I went with is the Proline KM3 Mud Terrains. I'm gonna stick to 1.9 inner diameter, but I'm gonna go with the smaller outer diameter. These are in the Predator compound, which is their softest compound. Super sticky, really, really grippy. And this is my first time trying out a smaller tire, so we'll see how it goes. Thank you to Proline for letting me try out these tires. So for electronics, I'm gonna be keeping what I have currently in my SCX-10 II. There's a multi-part build series on this. I'll link those in the description box. I'm running a Tekin RX4 speed control. This is all weather. It's gonna be able to withstand those rocks, that dirt, mud, sand, snow. It's a really rugged speed control if you're looking for something that's waterproof. Very programmable as well. I'm also running a Tekin Rock 412 2300 kV motor. This thing has been just enough for what I need. It's not overpowered. It's just right for how I like to drive. I'm running 5000 milliamp LiPo batteries. Here's the Gens Ace Adventure Series. One component that I am going to swap out though is to a new servo. This is from Power Hobby. They sent this to me. They're a company from Amazon. You can run this off 6, 7.4 or 8.4 volts. That's going to make for a really quick servo. I'm running a 25 kilogram servo. I got it on Amazon for like 25 bucks. This one is a little bit more expensive. I'll put a link to it in the description box, and you can run up to 565 ounce-inches of torque. It also comes with an aluminum servo horn. So we're going to try this out today. I'll let you guys know how I like it long term. All right, so that's it. Let's get to the install. All right, I got my hex wrench set. We got some thread locker. This is the blue thread locker. I've sorted out all my screws and nuts and all the hardware and stuff. And it looks like we start with taking off the front and rear bumper. Okay, let's continue getting our shocks off. Got all our shocks off. Now it says to remove the front and rear axles. Okay, we got our axles off. Next, we gotta take our trays off, both of these. Then we're gonna take our new rail and attach the leaf spring mounts on the new chassis rails. Okay, this is complete. We took off both chassis rails, replaced them with the RC four-wheel drive kit ones. Now it says to remove our links from the front and rear axles. Okay, now we're getting to the leaf spring assembly. So these are the main leaf springs, and then each leaf spring has a set of helper springs. The RC four-wheel drive guys said to only use the main spring unless you kind of have a really heavy truck. Otherwise it's going to be too stiff. So I'm just going to use these and put these aside for now. For this assembly, use thread lock. All right, now it's time to install these back onto the chassis. Before I kind of block access to the servo, let's install the Power Hobby 729 MPL high voltage servo. So next we're going to take our stock shocks, but we're going to remove the spring because our leaf is going to be functioning as the spring. Alrighty, we are finished with our leaf spring install. They look super cool. They are a little bit stiff, I've noticed. So I'm interested to see how they perform out on the trails. My truck isn't super heavy, so I only use the main leaf spring. I also went ahead and installed my new KM3 tires. I mounted them on my Onyx 19 beadlocks that I had on my previous build, but they are quite a bit smaller as far as the outer diameter. They're 4.19. I still have to do some mods to be able to fit the truck body onto the chassis. So I noticed here that my aftermarket Tough Armor bumper hits the front grille a little bit. So either I have to Dremel this or remove this, which I think I might end up removing this because the body sits a little bit too high. I did a survey on Instagram about whether I should keep the truck bed off. It seems like most people want the truck bed on. So to be able to mount this, I'm gonna have to cut into the bed a little bit to be able to accommodate the shock towers here. So there's some mods that I still have to do to get this to fit. And then I'm also gonna have to reposition our electronics. It's kind of a mess here, but I think all in all, it's coming along quite nicely. So that is pretty much it for this video. We did our leaf spring install. Quite a little bit of work to do to get our Mojave 2 body mounted on the SCX-10-2 chassis, but I have a couple solutions coming and I will keep you guys posted on what ends up working. Still gotta install the Mitric RC Light Kit and also take this out on the trail and show you guys the performance of the RC 4-wheel drive SCX-10-2 leaf spring conversion kit so I can give you guys my review of how these perform. Stay tuned for part 2. As always, make sure to like and subscribe, or see you later.